Have you ever wondered about the quirkiest facts of the least visited country in the world, Tuvalu? Welcome, my fellow explorers, to a journey into the heart of the Pacific Ocean, where we will unearth the mysteries of the tiny island nation of Tuvalu. Imagine a place so isolated, so off the beaten track, that it's considered one of the least visited countries on Earth. This is Tuvalu, a serene archipelago of 9 islands, each with its own unique charm and character. It's a hidden gem, nestled halfway between Hawaii and Australia, untouched by the hustle and bustle of the modern world. Now, let's delve a little deeper. The nation's population is a little over 11,000, making it one of the smallest in the world. But don't let the size fool you. Tuvaluans are known for their vibrant culture and warm hospitality, inviting us into a world where tradition and modernity coexist harmoniously. One of the most fascinating aspects of Tuvalu is its language, Tuvaluan. This Polynesian tongue is unique to the islands, and while English is also widely spoken, Tuvaluan remains the heart and soul of the nation's identity. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Tuvalu, despite its small size and isolation, has made a significant mark on the global stage. It's a full member of the United Nations and the Commonwealth of Nations, punching well above its weight in international affairs. And let's not forget about the Tuvaluan dollar. It's one of the few currencies in the world that features pop culture icons like Star Wars and the British royal family on its coins. Talk about a fun conversation starter. Indeed, Tuvalu is a place of contrasts and surprises, a country that challenges our perceptions of what it means to be remote, small, and seemingly insignificant on the world map. Now that we've set the stage, brace yourself for the most bizarre and intriguing facts about Tuvalu. Stay tuned as we journey deeper into the heart of this enchanting Pacific island nation. Did you know that Tuvalu is known for having the loneliest women in the world? But why is this so? In the heart of the Pacific Ocean lies the tiny island nation of Tuvalu, a place where modernity and tradition collide. Here, the women carry the weight of the past while navigating the currents of the present. The social fabric of Tuvalu is woven tightly around its women, binding them in a cycle of loneliness that's as vast and as deep as the ocean that surrounds them. In Tuvaluan society, women have long held a position of respect. They are the keepers of tradition, the nurturers of children, and the backbone of the community. However, this reverence comes with a price. Women are expected to uphold the customs and values, often at the cost of their personal happiness and freedom. This, coupled with the geographical isolation of Tuvalu, contributes to the loneliness of Tuvaluan women. The Tuvaluan culture is heavily patriarchal. Men are the primary decision makers, while women's voices are often unheard. This lack of agency can lead to feelings of isolation and loneliness. But that's not the whole story. Many Tuvaluan women also experience loneliness due to the exodus of young people, especially men, who leave the island in search of better opportunities. This departure leaves a void in the community and in the hearts of the women left behind. Moreover, the impacts of climate change have intensified the loneliness of Tuvaluan women. Rising sea levels and unpredictable weather patterns have increased the burden on women, who are often responsible for food production and water collection. The environmental changes have made these tasks more challenging, adding to the women's sense of isolation. So the loneliness of Tuvalu's women is a complex issue. It's a mix of cultural expectations, geographical isolation, emigration, and environmental changes. But remember, These women are not just victims. They are resilient and strong, preserving their culture and their island in the face of adversity. Let's move on from the melancholic fact to some more light-hearted and peculiar facts about Tuvalu. Ready for a quick quiz about Tuvalu? Let's see how much you've learned so far. Question 1. What's the capital of Tuvalu? Is it A, Funafuti, B, Nuku'alofa, or C, Vaitupu? Take a moment to think, and if you said A, Funafuti, you're right on the money. Moving on to question 2. True or false? Tuvalu is the third least populated country in the world. If you answered true, give yourself a pat on the back. With less than 12,000 inhabitants, Tuvalu indeed holds that distinction. Final question for this quirky quiz. What is the predominant religion in Tuvalu? A, Hinduism, B, Christianity, or C, Islam? If you've been paying attention, you'll know the answer is B, Christianity. Well, there you have it, folks. A quick trivia round on Tuvalu. How did you fare? Regardless of your score, remember, learning is a journey. Great job on the quiz. Now, let's dive deeper into the world of Tuvalu. Tuvalu is full of surprises, and here are some that will leave you amazed. Let's dive right into the peculiarities that make this tiny island nation stand out in a world of giants. Have you ever thought about the importance of a postage stamp? Well, in Tuvalu, they're not just for mailing letters. In fact, they've been a significant source of revenue for the country. Since the early 1970s, Tuvalu has been issuing beautifully designed and unique stamps to collectors around the world. These aren't your run-of-the-mill stamps, though. Some of them are shaped like fish, others like birds or flowers, and they've been a hit amongst philatelists. That's stamp collectors, for those not in the know. Imagine a tiny piece of adhesive paper playing such a pivotal role in a nation's economy. Next up, let's talk about the internet. Now, you might be wondering what the internet has to do with Tuvalu. Well, quite a bit actually. You see, every country has its own unique internet domain, and Tuvalu lucked out with .tv. Yes, you heard it right, the same .tv that's coveted by television networks and streaming platforms worldwide. This tiny country struck digital gold, leasing its domain rights for millions of dollars, a significant boost to its economy. It's fascinating to think that this island nation, thousands of miles away from Silicon Valley, is playing a role in the digital landscape. Now, let's shift gears and talk about something a little more outlandish. Did you know that Tuvalu is one of the few places on Earth where you can find the coconut crab? This isn't any ordinary crab, mind you. It's the largest land-living arthropod in the world, and it's got a bit of a reputation for being, well, a coconut thief. These crabs are known to climb trees, pluck coconuts, and break them open with their powerful claws. It's nature's own little comic scene playing out on the sandy beaches of Tuvalu. Speaking of wildlife, here's something that might raise a few eyebrows. Despite being a tropical paradise, Tuvalu doesn't have any rivers. Yes, you heard that correctly. No rivers. This is because the islands are coral atolls, which means they're made up of coral debris and have a very low elevation. While this makes for beautiful lagoons and stunning beaches, it also means there's no space for rivers to form. You might be thinking, how do the people of Tuvalu get their water? Well, they rely on rainwater, which they collect and store in tanks. It's a unique solution to a unique problem, and it's just another example of how life in Tuvalu is different from what many of us are used to. As we wrap up our discussion of unusual facts about Tuvalu, let's talk about something a little more serious. Tuvalu might be small, but it's making a big impact on the world stage. As one of the countries most at risk from rising sea levels, Tuvalu has become a vocal advocate for climate change action. It's a poignant reminder that even the smallest nations have a role to play in tackling the world's biggest challenges. It's not every day that you learn something this weird and wonderful, right? But wait, there's more. So stick around as we continue to unveil the quirks and charms of Tuvalu, the tiny island nation that's full of surprises. Global warming is a pressing issue worldwide, but do you know which country is the first to feel its impacts the most? Tuvalu, a tiny island nation nestled in the heart of the Pacific Ocean, is grappling with the very real and imminent threat of global warming and rising sea levels. Imagine a place so low-lying that its highest point is only about 15 feet above sea level. That's Tuvalu for you. This exquisite coral atoll is so flat that it's virtually at the mercy of the ocean. With the average sea level creeping up at an alarming rate, Tuvalu is like the proverbial canary in the coal mine for low-lying coastal regions worldwide. Rising sea levels aren't just an abstract concept for Tuvaluans. They've become a part of their daily lives. Saltwater intrusion into freshwater sources is a major concern, affecting not only their drinking water supply, but also the fertility of the soil. The very ground under their feet is becoming less hospitable for the crops they rely on. But the problems don't stop at agriculture. The very fabric of Tuvaluan society is being threatened. Imagine the heartache of seeing your ancestral burial grounds, your cultural heritage, being washed away by the relentless sea. The emotional toll is as real as the physical one. The people of Tuvalu, however, aren't just passive victims. They're at the forefront of raising global awareness about the threats posed by climate change. They're a testament to resilience in the face of adversity, as they strive to adapt and innovate, exploring options like floating islands and other climate resilience strategies. Yet, the stark reality remains. If sea levels continue to rise at the current rate, Tuvalu could become uninhabitable within the century. The entire nation could be forced to evacuate, becoming the world's first climate refugees. The challenges faced by Tuvalu remind us of our responsibility towards our planet. But let's end this video on a more positive note. Despite all its quirks and challenges, Tuvalu has its own charm. Let's discover what makes this country special. Nestled in the heart of the Pacific Ocean, Tuvalu is a paradise with breathtaking natural beauty. Imagine the sheer joy of waking up to the sight of sparkling turquoise waters, or the serenity of watching a sunset paint the sky in hues of orange and purple. The country's unspoiled beaches and lush vegetation are an open invitation to relax, unwind, and connect with nature. But the allure of Tuvalu is not only skin deep. The country's rich cultural heritage is just as captivating. The Tuvaluans' traditional music and dance, known as fatele, is a sight to behold. Performed during community events and celebrations, the rhythm of the drums and the harmonious voices of the singers are a testament to their deep-rooted love for their culture. Speaking of people, the locals of Tuvalu are some of the friendliest you'll ever meet. With a population of just over 10,000, Tuvalu is like a tight-knit family, where everyone knows everyone. The locals are known for their warm hospitality, always ready with a smile and a helping hand. It's no wonder that many visitors leave Tuvalu with heartwarming stories of their encounters with the locals. But perhaps the most remarkable thing about Tuvalu is the resilience of its people. Despite facing the harsh reality of climate change, the Tuvaluans remain hopeful and determined. They are proactive in their efforts to combat the effects of global warming, taking steps to preserve their homeland for future generations. Tuvalu might be one of the smallest and least visited countries in the world, but it's a testament to the fact that size doesn't define a nation's worth. This tiny island nation is a treasure trove of natural beauty, rich culture, and friendly locales, making it a destination that's well worth the journey. As we wrap up, remember, every country has its own unique story, and Tuvalu's is one of resilience, beauty, and a whole lot of quirks. As we say goodbye to this unique island nation, what are your thoughts on Tuvalu? We've journeyed together through its fascinating culture, met the women who exemplify resilience in loneliness, and dived into the quirkiest facts that make Tuvalu truly one of a kind. We've also navigated the serious waters of global warming's impact on this low-lying paradise, while also basking in the bright rays of Tuvaluan positivity. From its vibrant traditions to its environmental challenges, Tuvalu certainly leaves an indelible imprint on our hearts. As we bid farewell, let's remember the resilience of its people, the beauty of its landscapes, and the urgency of its climate struggles. So, what impressions has Tuvalu left you with? What have you learned, and what will you carry forward from this exploration? We encourage you to share your thoughts and keep the conversation going. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Tuvalu. Until next time, keep exploring and learning about our fascinating world.